This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Damn, Perk did this?
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
Yo, is this thing on? Man, is this thing on? What is going on, everybody? It is your guy, Kings and Dreams, and I am back. Yes, I am back. This is my first time live streaming in 2025. I can't even believe I'm saying that. My first time live streaming in the year 2025. Wow. Man, where do I begin, man? Well, first and foremost, it's a pleasure that I still have people who were actually still watching my content, who were still subscribing to my channel. I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers, and I haven't posted a live stream. Well, I've done a live stream in about 5 months, right? So it's officially the middle of April because it's April 15th, tax day. So I'm blessed. And I just want to thank you all for continuing to rock out with me, and those who continue to show me love, those who were hitting me behind the scenes, and as far as reaching out to me and wondering like, hey, what's going on, when you're going to be live and things like that, man. So I got some things to talk to y'all about, some changes to the channel, some additions and things like that. So, and of course, any questions that you guys have, um, feel free to ask, and we gonna work this whole thing out, man. But the one thing that I will say for sure and for certain, your boy is back, and I'm excited to be back. I can't wait to talk about some different topics and things like that, man. So I am truly excited, man. Truly excited. And I see, man, a couple of y'all already popped in here. So thank y'all for pulling up for me, man. I really appreciate it. Shout out to my man M3 Knowledge and Relationships. Make sure that you check out their channel. They have a really good channel talking about relationships and all different things, man. But definitely check him out. He says, "Kings and Dreams, my guy is back." Yes, sir. I'm back. I am back, my brother. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. My man Big Sean TV says, "Welcome back." Thank you so much. Thank you so much. One of my moderators, my man Charles Jones, is in the building. Yes, my brother. Thank you so much. He says, "Yo, what's up? What's up?" Absolutely. Get the likes up. Make sure you do get the likes up. When you guys like the video, it helps with the engagement. So I understand right now it's tax time and people are traveling and all of that. So everybody might not be able to send a super chat or, Cash App, Venmo, whatever the case is. But the thing is, likes are free 99. So make sure that you do like the video. It helps with my engagement and it will help bring me more subscribers, man. So the more that I grow, the more that I'll be able to, do, and you know what I mean, and talk some more things with y'all, man. So anyway, I appreciate it. Oh wow, okay. Shout out to my man Calvin King, man, with the 9.99 super chat, man. He says, "Welcome back." Thank you so much, man. Super chats do jump the line, but I definitely need those likes, man. So for sure. Definitely appreciate it. Calvin again, he says, "Now watching." Thank you so much. Definitely appreciate it. Okay, much appreciated, fan by M3 for sure, man, for sure. My man Jay Clyde, man. Hey, Jay Clyde, man. Happy birthday to your lady, man. You know what I mean? So, Jay Clyde got a beautiful, beautiful Pisa out in Medellin. You know, and today was her birthday. Was it today or was it yesterday? Might have been yesterday, but you know how it go. It's the birthday week, so we go celebrate for the whole week, man. But anyway, definitely giving a birthday shout out to her. And speaking of Colombia, I will be talking more about that a little bit later. All right. Uh, Jamie Wood says, "Welcome back, Kings. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, man. I truly appreciate this love, man. I really appreciate the love." Big Show TV says it's Liddy. Yeah, we go talk. We go talk. We go talk, man. We are definitely going to talk, man. Definitely appreciate you guys for all being here, man. It means a lot. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, man. It really, really means a lot. Okay. All right. So, where do I get started? Well, first and foremost, as I mentioned, it's April 15th, and I believe the last time I streamed was probably at the beginning of December. My live stream, that is. I would post like little like shorts, you know, here and there and stuff. But as far as with live stream, the last time I live streamed was probably, yeah, it was probably like maybe first or second week of December, something like that, you know. And so for those of you who all don't know, and I think most of you all do know, that I am a father and I do this shit for real. And I'm no disrespect to guys who are kind of on the move and their children live in different states and things like that. That's not to diminish what you guys do. It's just that for me, I'm with my son, you know, maybe 4 to 6 times a week, maybe sometimes even 7 days a week. So I hold fatherhood very dearly and close to my heart, and in full transparency. See, you know, when I was younger, my father ended up passing away when I was younger. I was about 11 years old when he ended up passing away. So I had uncles, my godfather, he was there for me, you know, but I think that is very integral, especially for the topics that I talk about and some people who have commented on here speak about, where it comes to accountability and masculinity and being there uh, for for our fellow man, and especially when your fellow man is your son, it's critical that I be there. And that's not to take anything away from you guys, but full transparency, my son is always going to come first. And with that, uh, so my son plays football all year long. So, and I'll break everything down. So for um it's like I'm sure some of you guys have heard of like Pop Warner, AYF. You know, these are leagues like for youth football. So our season actually starts the last week of July, where we have like a training camp. So we have a training camp. It's not necessarily mandatory, but it will put you get a step behind if they're not, you know, if they're not running. It's usually like the linemen. Usually like the linemen need it the most because they're not really doing much. They're, you know, they're supremely out of shape. Right? So but anyway, it starts the last week of August. I'm sorry, of July. Whoops, my bad. And then it rolls into August, and so the playoffs start typically like around Halloweenish time, and then if you win the state championship, then you'll and so typically that's like around like the first week of November. And then after that, then you go into regionals. So you'll be playing teams that are, around your region, but maybe like teams that are maybe 2 to 3, 4 hours away, right? Now, if you win regionals, then you go into nationals. Then nationals, that is in Orlando, Florida. So then you go down to Florida and you will play probably until about Thanksgiving. So I'm trying to paint a timeline for you guys, and this is just fall football, right? This is just the fall season. So the fall season starts from the last week of July and can go all the way to the middle or endish of November. And again, all of these things have to align. So when you guys are asking me sometimes like, hey, when you going to go here, when you going to go there, I truly don't have an answer because it depends on how well we do. So the better we do, the more I'm going to push the trip back, right? So let's say everything, the stars are aligned, and we end up going to nationals in Florida and winning. So now my son also plays indoor football. That the season officially, well, the first game is in January, but the season officially starts like the second week of December. So we're talking around like anywhere between like December 10th, December 12th ish, right? So you kind of have that 2 week window. Again, that's if I win nationals, 2 week window to where I would be able to travel. Now, also within that 2 week window, my son is also playing basketball. So now he's playing middle school basketball. So you have to incorporate that as well. So, so the timeline is crazy. So with basketball, that starts in November. You may have some practices or like tryouts late October-ish, but the season really kicks off November. So as I mentioned, you're balancing fall basketball and then fall football. Then you have that 2 week window. Then you have winter football, even though that season starts in January. So then my son gets invited to these tournaments. One is in Myrtle Beach. That happens the day after Christmas. So the day after Christmas until New Year's Day. So I'm doing that. Then for 2025, we did East versus West, and that was in Arizona. So we flew into Las Vegas, Nevada, and our hotel was in Nevada, but where the games were played were in Arizona. That's how close it was. So now, just to paint a picture here, now we got July all the way through November. This is for fall football. Then you have basketball from November, and that will go until February. Indoor football starts in January. Then I have these tournaments that he's gotten invited to in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, flying out to Vegas, right? So I have all of these things incorporated. So now let's go back to we come back from East versus West. So we come back and we have practice for indoor. So we come back on Wednesday and we have practice for indoor that Friday. So we got to get right back into indoor football, right back into it, right? And that's winter football now. So we have all of these things going on. Let's see what else. Okay. And then we had our first game that Sunday. So how indoor football works, you can play two games in one day. It's more of a like an accelerated clock. So you can play two games in one day depending on how the schedule is. But needless to say, so we're going for indoor ends the end of February, and then we had to push it back 1 week because we had a snowstorm. So then it ended the first week of March. We played the championship. Unfortunately, we did lose the championship, right? So now, so now we have we have a bit of a window here, but my son got invited to play in a football tournament in Maryland. And so that tournament was at the end of March. So 2 weekends, I drove my son down to Maryland so he could practice, right? So that's 2 weekends that I did that, right? Okay. So now we're in the month of April. So now we have AAU. So with AAU started late March into April. So what I'm trying to do is I'm giving you guys this big timeline of where I'm busy all year long, and I have to pick and choose the pockets of when I can travel and be very strategic with that. And I'll actually talk about my traveling a little bit later, but I want to paint the timeline of how dedicated I am to what my son does. Reason being is because he's a talented athlete. Uh, he makes high honors, so he's very good in school. Um, you know, he at least when he's with me, he's very respectful. He's very humble, and I want to give him and I want to give him things that I didn't have. As I mentioned, I lost my father when I was about 11 years old. And, my son is going to be 11 on May 23rd, so next month, right? So we're talking about a month and a week. He's going to be 11 years old. So this is around the same time that I lost my father. And most of us are men in here. We may have some ladies trickling around or whatever, but this is around the time where boys start to become curious about girls. Their voice start to change, and I brought my son to get a physical, and lo and behold, his doctor was saying, he's starting to get hair in places now. You know what I mean? It's time to start talking to him about certain things. So most important for me, and I'm sure that most of you or all of you can really understand. Most of my subscribers are very reasonable. Is that these times are so critical, and sure, like I live vicariously through some of y'all when y'all are traveling, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I could go. But the thing for me is that these places will always be there, and my relationship with my son won't always be there. So that's something that I can't take for granted, not for anybody. And I would hope that, and I believe that you all are very understanding when it comes to that, right? Because you guys will probably have to repeat the timeline of how busy I am. Because sometimes I'm so busy, like I have to put everything on my calendar on my phone, so I know, like, okay, we do a basketball this day, football this day, and some days we're doing basketball, like a basketball game, and a football game, right? So, or I'm sorry, not a game, but practice, right? So it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it, and these are just important for me. Once he gets a little bit older, right? Like once he gets into high school, because right now I'm also coaching his winter team and also the fall team. So once he gets into high school, I believe I'll have more liberty to travel because he'll be working with other coaches, and at that point, that'll be good for him because he's turning 11, right? And so he'll have 3 more years with me because we're gonna do 11U football, and then we'll probably do we'll either do 12U or we may just jump into 13U and then 2 years of 13U, and then he'll be in high school. So that's a lot. All right. Let me get to some of these comments here, and I appreciate you guys for listening to that. Right. It was a long rant, but I had to really explain what it is that I'm doing, and I know that it's a lot. Shout out to my man Tev King. He says, "Welcome back. It's been a minute." Yes, it has, man. It has been almost 5 months, man. It's been almost 5 months, but your boy is back. Garnet Scientist says, "Kings and Dreams, my boy." Yes, my boy. Yes, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Salute, Kings and Dreams, my brother. Welcome back. Shout out to my man Ronan Travels. Check out his channel, man. I've been seeing you doing some interesting things, man. So shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. Family over trips, totally understand, bro. Yes, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. Fatherhood over everything, man. That's important to me. That's important to me. And I can and I, and if you guys were in that same position, man, I already know how it would be, man. So even though I'm sure that you guys miss my content, I appreciate that you guys are being patient. And so some of the things that I'm actually going to be talking about today is how I'm going to make some additions and some subtractions to the channel. And I'll explain why, and I'll walk you through it. And of course, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm always here to answer them. All right. So I broke down why I haven't live streamed yet with my schedule. Oh, I forgot to throw in there. My son also takes martial arts, karate. So you got to throw karate in there as well. All right. So I know that you guys are used to seeing me do possibly like maybe 3 or 4 hour live streams. Shout out to my big brother, Andre Love Crossing Borders, who will actually be on the channel tomorrow. So tomorrow may be a long form live stream because I just know when Dre get cooking, he get cooking, man. So it is what it is. But as far as for me on a solo route, if I don't have any guests and I'm talking about something, I think I know my live streams are going to be shorter. So my live streams will likely be anywhere between 45 to 90 minutes max. And I'm going to do them on Mondays and Tuesdays every week. Every week, Mondays and Tuesdays, my live streams will be anywhere between 45 to 90 minutes. That's something that I can commit to. Another thing is I am going to do more reaction videos. So you'll see a lot more of that. So you'll see more videos of where I'm reacting to something. You may see like a 10-12 minute video clip of me or things like that, right? And so also you're going to be seeing some clips of some live streams that I've done in the past where maybe you guys have not gotten to see all of the content, and you guys will see like 10 or 12 minute clips from there, right? So with the thing is that I want to make sure that I'm keeping this train moving because it was pretty much at a standstill for about 5 months. And even though you guys support it, I know that I have to take some level of accountability because even though how I mentioned how busy I could have did a little bit more. And this is me saying I am going to do more. So, quick recap, right? So, I'm going to do Mondays and Tuesdays. It will be between 45 minutes to 90 minutes. So, a little under an hour to an hour. I could probably commit to an hour and then, an hour to 90 minutes, depending on the video. Now, if I'm interviewing a guest and the guest is, the guest is a little bit long winded, like, or, has a lot to say, like my big brother Dre, I love him to death. But I know tomorrow's probably going to be maybe about a 2 to 3 hour live stream. And I'm okay with that because I'm sure that we're going to have some things to talk about. So, and I'm excited to have this live stream with my big brother Dre, man. But so when I'm by myself, likely you'll see me there for about an hour to 90 minutes. And if I have a guest on, you know, you'll see some extra time or whatever because there'll be more dialogue, right? Because I'll be asking questions and then, waiting for their response and things of that sort. As I mentioned, reaction videos, definitely will be doing that. Okay. So now, most of you know, as I mentioned, when it comes to sports, I love sports. I love competition. That's my thing. And I love music. And those of you who I have spoken to privately know this about my background where I started from when it comes to musically, throwing events, being a promoter, hosting events, and things like that. So I do have friends, associates in the music industry, and also connected with people that are in the sports industry, whether it's sports entertainment or things of that sort. And so I'm going to be incorporating that in my channel. So I actually did an interview with a guy who works for ESPN. I did the interview earlier, and so I'll actually be playing that next week, and I'll explain why I'm playing that next week. But I'm going to be incorporating sports and music. And so the bulk of the channel will still remain travel, international, and things of that sort. But I'm also going to be including some local things. As I mentioned, I'm not going to be traveling 5 or 6 times a year like some of these guys. So my travel will be significantly reduced to 2 to 3 times a year for the foreseeable future, right? So, how do I supplement that with content? I'm going to have some content locally. I'll still be talking about, dating and international things of that sort, but I have to make sure that I'm keeping the engagement level up. And of course, travel will always be a big piece of what I discuss here. So no issues with that. Um, Also, some new things. So I think it's about time that I get a new intro. And I've been working behind the scenes with a couple of people about some new intros for myself. And um I'll probably will roll that out within the next month or so, right? Because I want to get the right intro. I'm not in a rush for it, but you guys will see a new intro that will be coming soon. Also, new cameras, right? So I have a new camera. Actually, this camera right here. This is a Canon. That's an insider if you guys understand what I just did there. But yeah, so new camera right there. That's one of them. And I have another one that is on the way. So you'll see some new camera views. I'm really excited about that. Also, you see the StreamYard logo on the top right. I am highly considering using another streaming platform like OBS, right? I've been hearing that OBS is really, really good. And I think it's time for me to try something different. So I've been learning OBS little by little. And I think what's going to happen sooner rather than later, you will see me streaming from OBS, and StreamYard will be a no more. So that's why you see the powered by StreamYard. You don't see the Kings and Dreams logo, because I'm not paying for something that I don't plan on using. Makes sense, right? All right. Also, IRLs. So when I mentioned that I'm going to be streaming, like, doing some streams locally, you'll be seeing me do some IRLs where maybe I'll have something in mind and I pop online and stream for maybe about 25-30 minutes. Shout out to my brother, the Flyboy Way. I know that he has like the Jeep Chronicles. I may do something similar. I may do like, not Backyard Chronicles. I'm gonna name it something different, but you know, but like I will cut the camera on, and I think that will be able to supplement from me doing the 2 short live streams a week. So you may see me do 4 or 5 live streams, but they'll be shorter live streams. Either way, what I'm trying to do is trying to maximize my time with my son and also maximize my time with you all. Right. So that's where I'm trying to work out the balance. All right. So I know people want to talk about, actually, hold on. Sorry. One more thing before we get to that. So merch. As you all know, like with when it comes to music, sports, I'll actually be talking about some fashion on here and stuff like that. So those who do know me personally know, like, man, like I like to dress. So whether it's putting on, urban wear, putting on suits, like I like to dress. And I am getting some merch that will be designed for the fellas and some for the ladies. So I have some taglines, and I can't wait to roll out with this new merch. This merch will likely be rolling out probably the middle of summer, so you'll probably be seeing this probably mid-July-ish, right? So I can't wait for that. So we got K&D merch coming soon, man. K&D merch coming soon. Also, for the end of the year, but first quarter of 2026, this is a big, big, big announcement. I am going to be releasing my first book. My first book. I can't wait for that, man. I can't wait for that. So, it's really going to talk about my travel experience, how long I've been traveling, my thoughts on the Passport Bro, Blue Book Gentleman, things that we can do better, things that maybe we shouldn't do, or maybe things that we haven't tried. But what I will say is this book will be very educational and very entertaining, man. So just to say that I'm writing a book is kind of like nostalgia feeling, because I never considered myself to really be an author. But yeah, I guess I could put that in my title now. Well, when I release the book. So again, I'm excited for that. All right. So the elephant in the room, I know you guys want to know where I am traveling to this year. So, believe it or not, next week I have a bit of an opening. So, next week I will be in Colombia. So I can't wait. This is my first trip, even though I don't necessarily count Colombia as a trip anymore. It's kind of like my third home because well, Jamaica will be first, United States second, so Colombia third. Yeah, so I mean, but it's a home away from home. But yes, I will be in Colombia next week. I can't wait. I am excited, man. Excited to get in the air. So Colombia it is. And what I mean by travel, I mean internationally travel because obviously I've traveled across the United States. Like I said, like I was in Las Vegas, I was in Arizona. So I've been in Nevada, Arizona, been in Maryland, been in West Virginia, been in Virginia, been in South Carolina, North Carolina. So in Maryland. Yeah. But now we're talking internationally, Colombia. Uh so I will be there in April, and the next time I'll be back there will likely be August, and that will be for Petronio Alvarez. So April and August, you'll see me in Colombia. Now, I do have a bit of a buffer, if you will, for the week of 4th of July. Reason being is because for 4th of July, my son will be going on a trip with his mom, and there's no sports going on that week. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do that week. I don't want to start naming up. Well, maybe I'll have a poll and name some places. I have a few places in mind of where I want to go, for that week. So I at least have a good 10 days before I, have to, jump right back into it. Then, as I mentioned, um, there's that window where the first 2 weeks of like the first week to 2 weeks of December, I am considering highly, highly considering. Now this is going to be a 2 week trip. So this is going to be where I'm either going to go somewhere in the continent of Asia or I'm going to go in the continent of Africa. Right. So now, if we don't make it to nationals, it could possibly be a 3 week trip. So now we're cooking, right? And I know that you guys have been waiting for me to do um, a trip in Asia or a trip to the continent of Africa. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And there you have it, man. There you have it. So Colombia, April and August, for sure. That's a definite. July, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I have a couple of ideas in mind. And then depending around like the end of November, beginning of December-ish, what I'm going to do, it will likely be either the continent of Africa or the continent of Asia. So I need to figure that out, figure out my price points and stuff like that, right? And go from there. And then, of course, like for like short weekend trips, I'll probably like maybe like if I get like a 4 day weekend, right? I'll probably pop out to like Habana or something like that, But I'm talking about like trips for real. So that's where we at, man. That's where we at. Shout out to my man QB Passport Flexing. Man, guys, make sure that you definitely subscribe to my brother QB Passport Flexing channel. I see my man QB cooking, man. I see you guys cooking, and even though like you guys may not see me comment, right? Really because like I'm with my son, and and I gotta have like my headphones on, or because depending on what you guys are talking about, you know what I mean. So certain channels I know that if I'm with my son, I can't watch, you know what I mean. So I'm like, all right, this is too much information, but I watch y'all, man. I watch y'all, and I see that you guys are are still putting out good content, man. And I appreciate you guys for all that you do. I really do. I really do. Anyway, man, it is time for me to land this plane. But I just wanted to reach out to you all and let you know what was going on with me, why I've been gone so long, and what's next to come. So, quick recap. While I know some people may have come in, but why I haven't live streamed in 2025 yet? Because my son is involved in 3 sports. So my son plays football, basketball, and he does karate all year long. So you got fall sports, fall basketball, fall football, winter football, travel football. Then you got AAU travel basketball, right? And then obviously, as I mentioned, my son has karate, right? So that's a quick synopsis there. As I mentioned, shorter live streams. So my live streams will, if I'm by myself, it will be 1 hour to 90 minutes, 2 times a week, and those will be on Mondays and Tuesdays. If I do have a guest, the live streams will go on longer because there will be some dialogue between the guest and myself, and some guests are just long-winded. Also, I mentioned more reaction videos, so you'll see me put some reaction videos, some 10-12 minute videos that I'm reacting to and things of that sort. And of course, the longer form videos will get clipped up too. So due to the fact that sports and music was very integral in my life, I will be introducing that to my channel. So I'll be introducing, like I just did an interview with a guy who works for ESPN. So so this will definitely help me get to more mainstream stuff, but I'm still going to keep the core essence, and the core essence is to talk about traveling and mental and physical health and being financially savvy and things like that. So the core essence hasn't gone away, but I'm just adding those additions. I mentioned I'm working on a new intro, so that will be out probably next month or maybe June. More cameras. As I mentioned, I have a camera right here. This is a Canon, so right here. So I have this camera here, and I have another one that's on the way. And IRL. So yeah, so I'll be doing some more IRLs, like in real time live streams. If I have something on my mind and I say, you know what, I just want to jump online and talk about it for maybe 20 or 30 minutes, I'll do that. And as I mentioned, with travel, so I'm locked in for April and August for Colombia. The week of 4th of July, not sure what I'm doing yet. And then towards the end of November, beginning of December. So we're talking like right after Thanksgiving. So like probably right after Black Friday, going into that first week of December, where I'm gonna travel to. So it's gonna be either Asia or Africa. And also, if we don't make it to nationals, could be traveling 3 weeks. So it all depends. It all depends, man. But either way, I'm back. I appreciate y'all. Really, really do. Thank you for everybody that super chat. Also, make sure that y'all get a membership, man, because the more memberships that y'all get, the more membership only videos that I'll put out. So because like I'll put out videos where it'll be about consultation stuff, but that's going to be for members only, right? And the thing is, listen, I'm a capitalist at nature, and I love my people, but like I'll give y'all free gems, but I'm not giving everything for free. Sorry, man. And, it could be the Jamaican or the New Yorker in me, but I mean, listen, it is what it is, man. Long story short, I do love y'all. I'm out of here. I'm landing this plane. Stay purposeful, and I'm out. Peace. Love y'all.